today I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I have started dressing like the Equalizer. I'm not talking about Denzel Washington or any other placeholder character. I'm talking about the real Equalizer, the Edward Woodward Equalizer. By the way, are my teeth looking a little bit yellow? They're not yellow. They're not yellow. They are as white as snow. It's just that being from Scotland and having a picture of the Equalizer here is heavy for a guy like me because he has nice tanned skin. I, on the other hand, look like an oversized milk bottle. So I have these lights in here and I can make my skin not so bluey white by adjusting the hue, you know. But the downside is it gives you yellow teeth. So that's my excuse. Anyway, here's 3 reasons why I have started dressing like the Equalizer, and so should you. Reason number 1, it's funny. It makes me laugh. It's like a private little joke, and when other people find out, it makes them laugh. I don't think that you should take life too seriously. I think it's good to laugh, and I think it's really good to laugh at yourself. Being a sort of eccentric is something that we web developers are expected to do. It's okay, you know. You're expected to be into Star Trek and a little bit strange and all of that. So it's fine. Why not have a little bit of fun, have a little laugh and all of that? Now, I know that I have not got my Equalizer outfit perfected. However, I do have a little gold thing in the post and you'll see that soon, and I'm working on it. And by the way it happened is a few months ago I went through my wardrobe and I was like, what was I thinking when I bought this? You know, some cardigan or something. And I just made the decision I'm going to start throwing everything out. So now when I buy clothes, I just put them through the Equalizer test. Would the Equalizer buy this? If yes, buy it. If no, you don't buy it. That's how it goes. Anyway, reason number 1 is it's funny. I think it's funny anyway. It makes me laugh, you know. Reason number 2 is I think that of all the characters in film and TV, I think the Equalizer was the best dressed. Now, don't get me wrong, Harvey Specter is a close second place. James Bond is certainly a very well-dressed guy. In the case of James Bond, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to walk about the streets of Glasgow dressed in a tuxedo. You'd have to be very brave to try and pull that off. I don't think that I could pull off the Harvey Specter thing. But the Equalizer's attainable, you know. I think it's possible. And I think that he had a sort of understated, slightly retro elegance that I quite like. So yeah, I think he's a smart dressed guy. Nobody's complained about his clothes yet, as far as I can tell. So that's reason number 2. Reason number 3, well, I pause and it's actually a little bit more serious. Reason number 3 is because the Equalizer is a very unique character. In all of film and TV, the Equalizer was the first male hero character over the age of 50. Think about this. All of the hero characters in film and TV were always in their 20s and 30s. Now, there were a few outliers like Dirty Harry, and again, maybe James Bond, who were portrayed as guys in their 40s. But the Equalizer, when Edward Woodward landed that part, he was in his mid-50s. And he did not have a six-pack or a cape or special powers or anything like that. I mean, he's a super handsome guy, clearly. But he had the physical demeanour of a kind of ordinary guy. And yet, he was the hero character. And when I think about my own favourite topic in life, which is me, I think about how I had 19 years of being a really mediocre developer. And now don't get me wrong, I had built lots of stuff, but none of it was remarkable, none of it was interesting. And I'm actually not too far from the age of 50. I was born in 76, do the math. I haven't got long to go. And I can honestly tell you that if you took a version of me, let's say from 20 years ago, you would find a version of me with much better hair, who does not have questionable parts here that go grey one day and kind of a bit too dark the next day. He would have much better hair for sure. But if you put that version of me from 20 years ago head to head with this version, I guarantee this version would be much more productive, much more creative, much more motivated, and much faster. Quite frankly, I would wipe the floor with the version of me from 20 years ago. And I don't care if it's arrogant, but as far as I'm concerned, I have built the greatest framework in all of web development. Certainly the benchmark suggests that maybe I've got a point, you know? So all of that stuff that I have done, if it has any value at all, I have produced all of this when I was well into my 40s. Some of you folks are well into your 50s, 60s, 70s and beyond. In fact, not only is that okay, the last developer that I hired was in his 80s and he did a fantastic job. He's actually a very well respected member of the CodeIgniter community. I won't name him, but he's very, very well known and respected, and he does a fantastic job. And that really is the secret message of this channel. And I don't talk about it every day, but I know from life that there's a lot of guys, I mean, I've met them, guys that I went to school with, and for some reason, it seems to be about the age of 32 or 33, at least here in Scotland. That's the age when guys kind of give up on themselves, and you can see it, you know? And the message that I have is that as long as the clock is still ticking, then the ball is still in play. Now, there's other YouTubers like Steph Mischuk who will produce videos that have titles like, "Is X too old to be a developer?" And sometimes they'll change the number. He'll change the number. Go have a look. I think he does age bingo and just regurgitates the same video and picks a random number out, you know? Well, I'm never going to make videos like that. Instead of doing a video that says, you know, is 100 years old too old to be a developer, I want to be the guy who lives that. I can say all of that just by the way that I stand, you know? And that is the point of this whole channel. That's the point of my whole life, actually. And I know it might sound a little bit dramatic, but somebody out there has to hear this message. Do not ever give up on yourself because you're lucky enough to be over the age of 21. Look at me, the web developer extraordinaire. And you know something? I don't even think that I'm at the peak of my powers yet. I think I'm just getting warmed up. Oh, to be a man. Yeah, I can get behind that. So now you know 3 reasons why I have started dressing like the Equalizer. And maybe you should too. I'll catch you later.